Hey, welcome back. It's Woman Wednesday on Liquid Lunch today, and for me, it's my favorite day of the week. And Frank's not here, so it also makes it an extra special day for me because I get to have all women and no Frank, which is a double. It's like a blue light special in Kmart back in the day. Everything is going your way today. And when we mix it up and I see on the rundown in the morning Jen Kerns, I get even happier because Jen's one of my favorite Republican strategists and former speechwriter for the Fox News debates and former spokesperson for the California Republican Party, and been on Liquid Lunch many times. Nico is holding up a note, which I can't read with these glasses on. We have Laura, okay, and Laura Fink, the CEO of Rebel Communications, joins us via Skype, and Laura's been on with us also. Hey, Laura, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, great. So topic number one, we're going to mix it up. I'm going to throw out the topic, and you guys duke it out, is the debate cutoff was today. And we found out this morning that both Tulsi Gabbard and this guy, Tom Steyer, have been eliminated. Laura, let me ask you, your party kind of put these new things in place. Is this the best way to give America a full understanding of all the candidates by eliminating people like this?
Well, they were on stage at the last couple of debates. The standards have been known for a long time, and you have to winnow the field at some points because that's one crowded debate stage. So it'll be one night. I think Tom Steyer missed it. He entered the race late. Steve Bullock from Montana missed it. But they also have the opportunity to participate in the October debates if they can make the threshold. So it's like more time for your homework. But I think it shows there's a broad field, a lot of people wanting to challenge President Trump, and a lot of credible candidates that we're going to hear from in a couple of weeks.
Jen, I feel like the party of inclusion is already putting their thumb on the scale a little bit by setting all of these measures. You got to have this many donors. You got to come here. And why not just let the public hear from everybody and the public decide until they start dropping out?
You mean the actual democratic process and the Democratic Party? That
Yes.
would be nice. But as you saw last year, and as Bernie Sanders saw last year during the primary debate, that's not how the Democratic Party operates. They gave a lot of favor to Hillary Clinton. She ultimately became the nominee, I think, because of it, because they helped her in some of those caucus states. But look, it is time to winnow the field, I think. And the disadvantage will actually go to the individuals who are not in the debate tonight. So they might be invited back to the October debates, to the later debates. But look, if you're not in the conversation, you know this, you know the news cycle very well. If you're not mixing it up in the conversation at this stage in the game, you're a non-starter.
Yeah, I think this is eliminating the chances of those people returning, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Ilhan Omar is on the front page of today's New York Post here in New York. And the New York Post says this woman from D.C. is saying Ilhan Omar stole my hubby. Now, Jen, she's a firebrand. She's a lightning rod, and she's part of the squad. And apparently, you know, some were saying a couple months ago that she had this sham marriage to even get her citizenship here, and now she's taking someone's husband. What do you make of this?
Well, you know, speaking of immigration forms, I'm just glad Ilhan is interested in someone other than her brother. Little immigration form joke for you.
Got it. Ring the bell.
But look, if you're one of the members of the Democratic Party, and let's face it, the squad, they are getting most of the news headlines. Nancy Pelosi technically is the chief woman in charge, but these four women are also setting the tone, and it doesn't set the tone of family values if you're out stealing other people's husbands. Now, I will say this. I think it's more problematic that she had this gentleman on the payroll. She was actually, the report said, paying him $250,000 in the last year for fundraising activities. I can tell you, as someone who's a political strategist for 15 years, the Federal Elections Commission does not look favorably upon you paying your people that you're in personal relationships with, spouses. Look at what happened to Duncan Hunter.
Significant others.
And there's a case that could be made. There are a lot of other people who could have done that job. It's one thing if you have a spouse who is the only person who can do that job, but the FEC is going to say he's a fundraiser. Many people could have done that job. She didn't need to be paying her significant
Laura,
other,
I heard you in the background there. I know you want to jump in on this. What do you make of this Ilhan Omar stuff?
Well, first of all, a lot of what's been said is really kind of ugly politics that we're talking about here. This is a woman who is a trailblazer, one of the first Muslim American women ever elected to Congress. And right now there's some accusations around her personal life. And I would say this about a Republican or a Democrat. Her personal life is her business, and we don't actually know what's going on there. There have been accusations leveled. But the FEC, I agree that the FEC does need to be strengthened, and that Ilhan needs to come with receipts. I mean, there is accusations about the business of her general consultant. She raised $2.3 million. I mean, this is someone who is a movement candidate. And so if she has people on staff and she's paying them bona fide market rates and they're doing work, all of that is legitimate. And that's for the FEC to sort out. And I will say, we do need to see a stronger FEC, because FEC is the organization that's going to police things like payments approved by Trump to pay off Stormy Daniels, the National Enquirer, paying off hush money. All of that is regulated by the FEC. The importance of a strong FEC cannot be understated. And in this case, I believe that Ilhan Omar will come with receipts. I mean, we see the problematic behavior of Republicans, like in my neighborhood, Republican Duncan Hunter, that was using personal funds or using campaign funds for personal business, including $200,000. I mean, that's not what we're looking at here. Do we need to look into it? Sure. But should we stay out of Ilhan Omar's personal business? Absolutely.
Well, Laura, I hear what you're saying, but when you brought up Stormy Daniels and everything, we spent the good part of the first 2 years of President Trump's candidacy talking about whether or not he had an affair with a stripper and if he paid her $150,000 20 years before he even ran for president. So in today's public...
John, it wasn't about the affair. It was about the money paid from his campaign to silence her, which was not declared. I mean, that's what's illegal.
Actually, what it was, point of fact, is it was actually a contractual agreement between two consenting adults, which is the exact same scenario you're talking about potentially with Ilhan Omar and this potential significant other.
Declare it on IPC forms, and you know that as well as I do because you've had to fill them out. None of that was declared as a campaign expense. The hush money went under the radar. When you don't declare that, that's illegal. And that's what the problem is. Those expenses need to be itemized.
All right, Laura Fink, you're the best. Thank you so much for your point of view. We respect it, and that's what we do on Liquid Lunch. We bring on a Republican, a Democrat. We hear all points of view. We let you decide. But that's why I'm always saying, I'm talking to the purple people who are practical and we're into common sense. And Laura Fink and Jen Kerns are experts in their own right and with some amazing points of view. I want to thank you both, Laura and Jen Kerns. And you're watching Liquid Lunch. We'll be